Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I decided to film a little tutorial of sorts about hand lettering. Today I picked a quote that I'm going to write in a few different styles that I found via our favorite place, Pinterest. So I will link the websites that I actually found them on because I didn't design these letterings. I'm just showing you how I would kind of use them, combine them. The first style is kind of, let's call it the tall man. It's making your letters really tall and then really minimizing the
horizontal length. Oh Lord, this is going to be harder than I thought. Words.
so kind of push everything up towards the top and then squish it all in. This one is kind of bouncy letters, so you can see if you kind of find a midline and just go up and down with your letters above and below that. So that one takes a little practice, but it does add some fun funkiness. And then this next one is courtesy of Cindy Baldo. I will link her YouTube channel below. I kind of messed up on the B, but it sort of looks a little bit like an H. I should have gone in further with my curly Q. But this one, basically, you're just trying to make your downstrokes a little bit thicker. And to do that, you have to make your letters wide enough so that you have room to draw in those lines. So that's sort of the mistake I made with the B. I didn't go wide enough, so I kind of ran into the little curly Q with my downstroke. I'm using a tombow pen to fill in with color. You can leave it plain or you can fill in like that, and I think that looks really pretty. I think I'm sort of showing you how I would try and do the B. You see I went really wide with it so that I had room in there to actually go all the way down with that little stroke. And then this next one is from a website called Little Miss Rose, and I thought this was super sweet. Just leave a little blank space in your letters, kind of at the same height in each letter, and I sort of combined the tall man with this one, and then you can put a little shape in those blank spaces. And her website, she did hearts, and it was super cute. Like if you were hand lettering the month, it would be so cute for February to do like little hearts. This one is just the simple putting a little hat on each end of the letter. What is that font called? I can't remember. Serif, maybe? This is sort of a banner style, which I think is really cute. You can do it by making like flags, but I just kind of liked the look of circles. You just draw a circle for however many letters are in the word, and then I just decided to do just a simple kind of like elementary school lowercase. And then this one I really like. It takes some practice. It's called a drop shadow, and I sort of just did some cursive. So pull out all your third grade knowledge there, and it's easier to do this one, the actual like lettering in a color, and then add your drop shadow with a black gel pen, because the trick is keeping the color so that you can see it. If you were imagining that there was a light shining on your paper from in the upper left hand corner, you're trying to think of where the light would hit those letters and where a shadow would be created. And like I said, it takes some practice to figure out where to add your shadows. But once you do it a few times, then you kind of get used to where would be dark. It sort of makes your letters look a little bit 3D almost. And I really like it. I think the thicker that you make the colored actual writing, the more that you notice the drop shadow. So that pen wasn't very thick. And then this one is one of my favorites. You'll see it in my planners a lot. It's just like it's sort of like the one I did up at the top, but it's just making like a fat downstroke, and then you can do any sort of pattern or just leave it blank. It looks really pretty if you don't do the stripes in them. But you can sort of see this one is super easy. I do this in my planners all the time. And I think that the main point of this is to make things look interesting and neat. Just combine your styles of writing. When you're listing things in your planner, do part of the list in tall man and then maybe one word in a drop shadow or in one of those other fun ones, and it just really adds some personality and some prettiness. It's also a great way to write quotes like I did this one. I went a little cray with my P there, and this is one of my favorite styles of writing where you just widen out your cursive so that you have room to take a pen and thicken up your downstrokes with like a calligraphy pen. And I really like you can see on the beginning of my P, that I really elongated that stroke. And then at the E, I would have even taken that out even longer. So it's it makes it look really pretty and elegant. This one's super easy, and again, it's just about making those letters wide enough that you can fill them in without losing the spaces in your letters. Oh, I'm sorry. That was my son showing me a fly that he had killed on the fly swatter. I tell ya, 8-year-olds, right? And I'm showing you that you can really play around with the thickness of your downstroke. It just creates different looks. And you can kind of thicken on the back and the front so that you're not just taking away from the gaps in your letters. It's kind of maintaining the gaps but also making them thicker. So I like that quote. My moods don't just swing. They bounce, pivot, recoil, rebound, fluctuate, and occasionally pirouette. See, here I'm showing you that if you make your letters skinny or just don't make any extra space in your words, you don't have room to thicken them up. You lose the definition. So if you just spread out your writing a little bit, you have room. Especially you can tell on that W. It definitely takes practice to do it without just writing really big, but you just widen it out. Widen it out, and then I'm showing you with a couple cursive S's the trick of, like there, I thickened up the downstroke just in front, and I lost that little space on my S, and the spaces in the letters are what makes it look really pretty. So just remember that you can thicken up towards the back too, and the front, so that you maintain those spaces. I used a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen, the thick one, Tombow calligraphy pens, a gel pen, and then my Tombow markers. Thank you guys so much. Please subscribe.